Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy CV with another reaction video. This one is on George Carlin on soft language. Now, is it just me, or does George sounds like a science teacher or just an amazing teacher on stage? Like, he makes learning fun and therefore you pay attention. That's what he reminds me of. This dude, I think, is more than just a comedian. One video that I watched, just one, this will be the second one, I can see what his style is. He's more than a comedian, man. He is schooling and telling you some truth, and you just kind of got to cipher through it and then pick up on it. He's that type of comedian. I like that because he makes you think. But anyways, George Carlin on soft language. Let's get this to 100 likes if you can, man. Appreciate y'all.
I don't like words that hide the truth. I don't like words that conceal reality. I don't like euphemisms or euphemistic language. And American English is loaded with euphemisms because Americans have a lot of trouble dealing with reality. Americans have trouble facing the truth. So they invent a kind of a soft language to
Hey, George, you should see how it is today, brother. Oh, my God, George, you should see how it is today, brother. And by the way, wait, this is George way back then. And he's already on it. So George is ready. George, you don't need to know how it is. You already know. My bad.
Protect themselves from it. The truth. Back. So they invent a kind of a soft language to protect themselves from
Everybody
it.
Gets a trophy,
worse
George.
With every generation. For some reason, it just keeps getting worse. I'll give you an example of that. There's a condition in combat. Most people know about it. It's when a fighting person's nervous system has been stressed to its absolute peak and maximum, can't take any more input. The nervous system has either snapped or is about to snap. In the First World War,
shock?
that condition was called shell shock.
Yes, yeah.
Simple, honest, direct language. 2 syllables.
Hey, man, I got a lot of people in my family that's in the military, so yeah. I've had some discussions and those words were used, yeah.
Shell shock. Almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was 70 years ago. Then a whole generation went by, and the Second World War came along, and the very same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock.
It takes the sting out of it.
Battle fatigue. Then we had the war in Korea, 1950. Madison Avenue was riding high by that time. And the very same combat condition was called operational exhaustion. Hey, we're up to 8 syllables now. And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Operational exhaustion. Sounds like something that might happen to your car. Then, of course, came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no surprise that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen.
George is crazy.
And the pain is completely buried under jargon.
That is so true. I've heard soldiers say that. As a matter of fact, I always say, I know when I talk, it kills the vibe. I get it, but it's reaction. I'm sorry. One thing I dislike is everything has a title. Now, certain things need a title so people understand, but I always say the same thing over and over. If somebody eats couch cushion, they give it a name, and the person who eats couch cushion goes, oh, I can't be alone. It has a name. So, all right, I'm going to keep eating couch cushion. No, it's not. No, I smell gasoline. Well, we give it a name, give it a title. It takes the sting out of it. And then everybody's like, well, yeah, I like to smell gasoline. If it's got a name, then it's cool. Like some title, I just can't stand. I'm sorry. I think that's what he's saying.
Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time.
It's different. It takes the sting out of it, you know? Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Like I said, this man, it's not just comedy. You just gotta, it's funny, it makes you think, and it's great. So true.
But But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons is because we were using that soft language, that language that takes the life out of life. And it is a function of time. It does keep getting worse. Give you another example.
Facts.
Sometime during my life, toilet paper became bathroom tissue. I wasn't notified of this. No one asked me if I agreed with it. It just happened. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue.
That's funny.
Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance. The dump became the landfill. Car crashes became automobile accidents. Partly cloudy became partly sunny.
Man, it's just the play on words is just great, man. These are things sometimes, you don't sit back and think about it, but yeah, the change of words, especially today in 2024. Oh my goodness. I can't even say some of those things now. Like I can't even do the comparison because I'll probably get banned for it. Simple thing. Just switch the words. Man, this is great.
Motels became motor lodges. House trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned transportation. Room service became guest room dining. And constipation became occasional irregularity. When I was a little kid, if I got sick, they wanted me to go to the hospital and see the doctor. Now they want me to go to a health maintenance organization or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities. And they're broke. They're broke. They don't have a negative cash flow position. They're fucking broke. Because a lot of them were fired. Fired. Management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resources area. So many people are no longer viable members of the workforce. Smug, greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people.
Ooh.
Or they depopulate the area. The
So much. There's so much there, man. So much there. We'll just continue.
government doesn't lie, it engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually measures nuclear radiation in something they call sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part of it to us, do they?
In one place, it could be called freedom fighters. In another place, it's not. I'm just saying.
Never mention that part of it.
I think people would try to boycott George all day, every day if he was around. Like you could just see it.
And some of this stuff is just silly. We all know that. Like on the airlines, they say they want a pre-board. Well, what the hell is pre-board? What does that mean? To get on before you get on? They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples. Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe that condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you? How about differently abled? I've heard them called that, differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well,
bro, that's what I just said about the person who eats the couch cushion. You give it a name, it makes the condition okay, and like, oh, I'm not alone. Even though you keep doing it now because you think it's a normal thing. That's crazy what he's saying here. Like, words has so much power, and just the change of it changes the perception, man. It's crazy, bro. I mean, it's not crazy because I know this. It's just the fact that he's look at his face. What a way to pause. The fact that he was talking about this in his comedy, and you know, I guarantee it went over a lot of people's heads, man.
Handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well, hey, cousin, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
Hey, cousin.
We have no more deaf people in this country, hearing impaired. No one's blind anymore, partially sighted or visually impaired. We have no more stupid people. Everybody has a learning disorder. Or he's minimally exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that. Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient.
Oh, man. Rest in peace, George Carlin. Rest in peace, brother.
And we have no more old people in this country. No more old people. We shipped them all away, and we brought in these senior citizens. Isn't that a typically American 20th century phrase? Bloodless, lifeless. No pulse in one of them. A senior citizen.
Yeah.
But I've accepted that one. I've come to terms with it. I know it's here to stay. We'll never get rid of it. That's what they're going to be called, so I'll relax on that. But the one I do resist, the one I keep resisting, is when they look at an old guy and they'll say, look at him, Dan. He's 90 years young. Imagine the fear of aging that reveals. To not even be able to use the word old to describe someone, to have to use an antonym.
Yeah.
And fear of aging is natural. It's universal, isn't it? We all have that. No one wants to get old. No one wants to die. But we do. So we bullshit ourselves. I started bullshitting myself when I got to my 40s. As soon as I was in my 40s, I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, well, I guess I'm getting older. Older sounds a little better than old, doesn't it? Sounds like it might even last a little longer. Bullshit, I'm getting old. And it's okay, because thanks to our fear of death in this country, I won't have to die. I'll pass away.
Oh, man, that is great.
Or I'll expire like a magazine subscription. If it happens in the hospital, they'll call it a terminal episode. The insurance company will refer to it as negative patient care outcome. And if it's the result of malpractice, they'll say it was a therapeutic misadventure. I'm telling you, some of this language makes me want to vomit. Well, maybe not vomit. Makes me want to engage in an involuntary personal protein spill.
He said involuntary protein spill. That is hilarious, man. George, I think you was on it, man. It's even worse now, Mr. Carlin, because there's words that are even banned. As a matter of fact, listen, George just told you how much words have power, right? Like he said, the government's not killing people. Just change the verbiage. Just change the verbiage. It makes people feel a certain way. It makes them feel like even the condition that they don't have by changing the words. That tells you words has power. Now, the amazing thing to me, I've heard people tell me that, oh, the N-word, you give it power. I'm like, no, words have power. There's a meaning behind the N-word, so that's why it's powerful. And some people, it's obviously degrading. There's a lot of harm that comes with that word, but it's the people that tells me, oh, you giving the word power. No. The word itself has power. Just like the F word. You can't say the F word. When I was a kid, I saw some kid and wanted to fight. The F word was a regular thing. You can't even say that today, right? Why? So if I can't say the F word because it has power, because if I say you feel a certain way, why would you think the N word don't have power? I'm supposed to just turn my back and go, oh, yeah, I'm giving the N word power. Well, aren't you doing the same thing when I say the F word? Like, people today is so messed up in the head, bro. There's a lot of words for me to use, but I can't because that's just how the world and society is today. And it blows my goddamn mind. George Carlin, I'm telling you, man, this man was ahead of his he was ahead of his time. Truly was. This is only the second video, and I kind of got the gist. Now, this could just be this particular stand-up that he's done, but I feel like George is this type of a comedian. Like, he's going to give you some truth. He's going to give you some knowledge. You just got to pay attention, and then he's going to make it in a way where it's digestible, in a way where you could just take it in. And if you can't understand it, then, man, God help you. God help you, man. Anyways, man, if there's more George, and I think there is, put in the comment section below, because 2 videos in, I think this dude, his stand-up is amazing. I like what he's talking about. I like how he attacks certain things. And I feel like the way he attacks things in the world, that's what I like, you know? And so, yeah, I'm here for it, man. If there's any more George, put in the comment section below, man. Till next time, peace.